welcome back to Ill Eagle Culture Brands Talk. I am your host, John Ostos, aka Ill Eagle CEO, and I'm here with my two counterparts, Dion Two Cup Larry and Cody Big Meat Mauk. And as usual, if Dion's on this side, it means we got a guest in the house today. And today we got Daniel Munyon, world famous Daniel Munyon, or just Fargo famous Daniel Munyon.
I'm house famous.
House famous Daniel Munyon.
I stay in the house now.
Yeah, you're not on for anything particularly too crazy, but one of the cool things that I shouldn't say cool because it wasn't cool, but something happened to me this week where I had been driving by somebody who just flipped their car over, and I posted a picture of it to Facebook because everyone was okay, nobody was even like injured. I think she might have got knocked out, but she was like had come to right away. But Cody wanted me to come talk about it on the pod, and then as I got to talking to Daniel and my brothers in this little group chat about it, you reminded me of your story. So I thought mine is really lackluster. Let's bring Daniel on because you had a pretty dope and semi-heroic story. That's something that happened to you recently that was like all over the news and shit. So yeah, I thought we would talk about that a little bit. So I'll prelude into that and just kind of talk about my situation because it wasn't really too crazy, but we just left the gym. We went by H&I to grab a shake, and then my nephew Joe's out of state right now, so we swung by his place to pick up his mail for him. And we were driving down his street, leaving his apartment, and we pulled up and we seen some people kind of running over to this car, and they were trying to break the window of this car that was literally just flipped upside down. And we were like, what the hell? So I pulled up and rolled my window down. I said, is there somebody in that car still? And they're like, yeah, we're trying to get her out. And so I pulled off, jumped out. And I ran up to the car, and this guy's had just popped the window. Someone had like a bolt cutter or something, and he smacked the window and broke it, but it was the passenger side window. And so he reached up to unlock the doors, but they were all like smashed and jammed down. So I ran around the other side to where the driver was because I could see her hanging in her seatbelt upside down.
Was she conscious?
She kind of, but she was like barely coming to, but she was facing, the ceiling of the car.
She was upside down.
Roof. So she was upside down. So her seatbelt was holding her, levitating. It looked like she, was maybe constrained in her breath or something. Mm-hmm. So we went around that side and ripped that door open, and then her seatbelt wouldn't unlock. So I literally just fucking broke her seatbelt to pull her out of it, and then she like crawled out all in a daze and sat down. And like the cops got there hella quick. Like someone showed up and was already on the phone with them, and then she lived in the apartment that was right there.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Could you guess as to how she flipped it?
If I'm being real, it seemed like she might have been distracted.
And hit the curb,
because the old the reason why I jumped out is I saw this old dude trying to break the windows and stuff himself. Yeah. He said he witnessed it. That's why he was there so quick. He said that she was coming out of a driveway right there, and there was a car coming into the driveway, and he said like she went real fast, like made a sharp turn out of the driveway, almost like she got afraid that car was going to hit her or something. She went up the curb, rolled the curb like real fast, spun off the curb, and then went back up the curb, hit a tree. Up on the curb, and the tree flipped her right there next to the curb.
Weird.
Yeah. But she was fine. Like thankfully, she seemed a little like stunned or in shock or whatever.
So I think you see a lot of these videos of people like instead of pressing on the brake, they hit the gas.
Yeah. That's what I think happened.
I think maybe the adrenaline just was like they panic and then just like fucking. Yeah. And she probably hit the gas, and that's what. And then she lost control, hit the tree, and flipped it over.
Yep. No one said, "Hey, big guy, you can't just flip the car over." Or
that's what I was gonna say.
It was kind of a serious moment at that time. So yeah, I don't think it was because I thought about saying like, why didn't they ask me?
Yeah,
but,
I would have tried.
I would have tried also.
I would have screamed too.
I'm not gonna lie. I would have loved the opportunity. I would have loved the opportunity to be the one to break the window. Even, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the old dude beat me.
I could just see
John would have wrapped his hand in a shirt.
Watch out! I know how to do this. You see me do it. Right in the middle of the street in front of Taco Bell. Remember?
Oh shit! Yeah, man. I was young as fuck.
Yeah, you were like 15.
We was driving. I was and I had some issues with some dudes back then, and there was a few of them. Oh my bad. And there was a few of them, so. They saw me. They were driving by the car. They saw me in the back seat, but they didn't see who was in the front seat yet.
Oh, they're talking shit to you,
right? And they ain't never seen nobody like Wes back then, because back then there wasn't dudes here like that. Yeah. So they see me in the back seat, and they speed up, and they start flipping the middle finger and talking shit in the car. But then they get past the front window, and John looks over He's like, what the fuck? And then they see John, and they're like, oh shit. And we pull up to the stoplight
right next to each other.
And he jumps out the car. And they roll the windows up and lock the doors and shit. He's like, you think that shit's funny? And they're behind windows laughing like, ah. He's like, you think that shit's funny? It's fucking funny. Boom. And he fucking shatters the window. They just peel off through the red light in 13. Every time I saw them again, they just looked at their feet and kept moving.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's one way to not get bothered again, you know?
Yeah.
So when you
That's
have
like
a bad attitude, though, man.
Straight up. Dude,
I had such a bad attitude
But-
back then.
but-
I mean, that's disrespect, though.
yeah,
You got
but
to.
I mean, I told you guys this. I was like, if someone flips me off, it sets me like it flips the switch. So like in that situation, I don't know if I can control myself either. I'd, you fucking.
Well, and
punch
then
it.
back then, like there was no consequence to this shit out here.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it was like
yeah.
Candyland, and there wasn't dudes that would actually jump out the car and bust your shit.
Yeah.
So they felt confident doing it,
Yeah.
and then that shit just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's funny.
Those were the good days.
The good old days.
Nah, they weren't good days though, man. That was some risky times.
Yeah, people stopped fucking with me though because they thought I had like a Mexican Suge Knight in my back pocket that nobody knew
big
about.
Suge.
Yeah. No, man. So let's talk a little bit about your story, D. And I know you could tell a good story, man. So give us the details of what went down with you. Because I do want to preface this too and just say ahead of time so it's not like shocking to anyone that doesn't know it. But the guy did not survive.
No, he did not.
In your situation. So
No.
yeah, tell your story, bro.
So I used to work out at Terracon in Holly, on a Hoodrat colony doing precast concrete walls and shit. Well, if anybody knows me, I'm very anal about my vehicles being clean. So every day on my way home, we had to go to like.
Wait, you like your anal clean. What did you say?
I like my anal clean, and I like my car is clean too.
Gotcha.
Keep them both clean.
Yeah. The key to success is clean your car and clean your ass.
It's true.
So I'm driving. You go down a dirt road for like 20 miles to get to my job, and I got a black SUV. So every day on my way back in to Fargo, I would stop at Holiday gas station out by RDO in Moorhead, run my vehicle to the car wash, jump back on the interstate, and go home. So this day I did my normal routine. I jumped off the interstate, washed my vehicle, got back on to go home, and at that particular interstate on-ramp, it wraps around to get back on 94 to go.
It's on
west.
34th and Moorhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a black Denali truck in front of me, and he's taking it casual like everybody else, and all of a sudden he pinned it, and his rear end kicked out, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, he's gonna correct it in a second. Well, he veers off the road, and he goes down into the ditch. I'm like, this dude gonna correct this? And grass just keeps kicking up. He's got it pinned down, and at the bottom of this ditch, there's like a drainage tunnel. So it has like the concrete walls that go down it. Well, I couldn't see that, but I'm watching his vehicle, and all of a sudden it just hit something and flipped over and lands on its roof. So I pull over and I jump out and I run down there. And so he's dead center of this ditch underwater, upside down.
Oh.
So I try to open the door, but his roof caved in. So it's plus he's in water, like there's all this pressure. So I break out the back window and I check to see if anybody's in there, any kids, any other parties, whatever. It's just him upside down in his seatbelt. It held him right in spot like he was driving. So I'm trying to open his door and it's not working.
Was he conscious?
No, I couldn't see. He was covered in water from here to the
so
roof
he was
upside
under,
down. So all I saw was his waist where his seatbelt
Oh my
was
God.
at. So I start panicking.
Can you imagine the adrenaline
that'd
in
be
that
so
situation,
funny,
bro?
dude.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I started panicking because I can't open this fucking door.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. Somehow I just got it open. And then I can't get the seatbelt off, but I just got off work and I have my knife in my pocket. So I cut him out of his seatbelt and I grab him by the collar of his shirt and I pull him up out of the water. And this dude's like, I don't know, 6'2", like 300 pounds. He's a big dude. And I pull him out and I'm trying to get him onto the grass on the hill. Well, we're in a drainage ditch, so everything on the edges is a slant and it's muddy as shit.
Yeah.
Was there anybody around at this time other than you?
That's the thing. So when I'm trying to pull him, I'm slipping on this fucking mud, and dude's heavy as shit, and he's dead weight because he's unconscious. And I look up to see if anybody else would stop. There's like 6, 7 cars at the top of the hill with their phones out, just like,
oh fuck,
Yeah, bro.
That's brutal.
oh,
and
man.
I'm like, are y'all gonna fucking help me, or you just gonna let this dude die? Like I freaked out a little bit, and some dude came down the hill and helped me carry him up onto the grass.
Mm-hmm.
We pulled him up a little bit so he wouldn't slide anymore. And I don't know what the fuck to do. I've never done nothing like this, so we started doing compressions. Well, his ribs break. You can feel it.
Yeah.
What they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I fucked up.
Oh shit.
Well, then he starts coughing, and he's like making noises. He's like, oh, he's moaning and she's in pain. I don't know if he's fully conscious, but he's making noise now and he's breathing at this point. So all of a sudden, EMT shows up, fire trucks show up, and they put him on a stretcher, and he's making noise the whole time. And they take him into the ambulance. They question me, ask me what happened. I told them exactly what happened. And then they're like, well, he's going to be okay. And they took him to the ER. Well, then I like paused for a minute, and my adrenaline was just like, I looked down and my hands were just fucking shaking. And because everybody, like, people hear stories, right? But then everybody's like, oh, I would have did this and I would have did that. Everybody knows what they would have did.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody knows what the fuck they're going to do until it happens. Because when you're doing it, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
The shit happens so fast. Your adrenaline's pumping. You just react. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there like trying to gather myself. And then one of the firemen tapped me. He's like, hey, man. And I look over. And I used to be the operation manager for a lawn and snow company for some years. The owner of that company is also a Moorhead Fire Department. He's been on the fire department almost 20 years out there. It was him. So I look over and he's standing there and I'm like, I was confused for a minute and then I realized he's a firefighter and I'm like, hey, he's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, hey, the first time anything happens like this, like even to us firefighters, like they all get that same look in their eyes afterwards. And he's like, your adrenaline's like a serious thing that you don't understand how it can take over you and like how your body's going to respond to it.
Mm-hmm.
So like are you sure you can drive? Like you might not be okay to drive. I'm like, I just need a minute. And I just sat there in that spot I was standing for like 15 minutes. And I went back up the hill to my vehicle. And then I sat in my truck to go home. And I was just stuck for a while. Like I couldn't move. So finally, I gather myself and I drive home. And before I had went up there, he was like, if you didn't do this, he would have died before we got here. But he's okay. He's going to be okay. We're going to take him to the ER. He's got a couple broken ribs, but they're going to check him for anything internally. But right now, the way it looks and what they tested him for, or whatever their procedure they go through on scene, they said that he's going to be okay. So I'm like, cool. I go home, and then I find out the next day that he had passed. So, and it's weird because, like, I don't know the dude. I never spoke to the dude. But, like, when I found out that he had passed, it fucked me up. Like, I don't know why, it just fucked me up.
Yeah.
Like you felt like maybe you didn't do enough or something.
Yeah. That, and I was just like, damn, like I thought I saved this dude.
Yeah.
So then somehow, I'm not sure. Well, I had to go to work again. So I drive by the same spot every day to and from work. Every time I drove by it, it would just fuck me up. Like, so I go to work and then I drive home and I forget and I'd be just doing my thing driving home. Mama get off and get a car wash and then I'd see that spot and I'm like, oh shit. So like that shit carried on for a while.
Yeah.
Like I started having like fucked up dreams about it and shit. Or like I'd be cool and kicking it out, having fun. And then something would just trigger it and I'd remember it and I'd be fucked up. I'd have to leave. So anyway, fast forward like a couple days, not even a couple days. I think it was like the next day after. I get a phone call from, I think it was Valley News. And they had asked me if I would do an interview to tell everybody my side of what happened and, things like that. And I didn't want to right away. I was like, nah, I don't want to go on TV about it. Like, I didn't do it to jump on TV and be like, oh, I saved this dude, or I tried to. So I was reluctant to do it for a minute. And then I had talked to somebody else. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, the news contacted me. They wanted me to do an interview, but like, I don't really want to get on TV about it. And they was like, you should. I'm like, why? And they said, because like when shit like this happens, you'll give the fire department or the EMTs or the police department your side of like what you saw and how it went down. But when they deliver this information, it's always pieced up. So you should do it so that the family knows like people were helping them and shit, because you never know what story they got. You know what I mean? So I sat on it for a while, and then I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna do it. And then I had contacted the reporter back, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. So she actually had me meet her at the site. So I left work. I met her there.
They got to dramatize it as hard as they can.
And she's asking me about it. And I do the interview. And I'm there, like, the interview was like 30 minutes.
That's a really long interview.
But the clip was like 48 seconds.
Yeah. And the rest of it was a narrative.
And even in the clip, like, they pieced a couple pieces in it to make it sound dramatic. And they were like the shit that bothered me was when they released the news clip, they made sure to say you can only see here on Valley News. Like, that was emphasized.
Like, you gave them an exclusive.
Yeah, like I plugged them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like, even like, that's why I don't like fuck with the news or anything like that. Like, even on like with my nephew Adrian, that shit that happened in June.
Yeah.
In the newspaper, when they talked about it, they emphasized this was the amount of damage done to the apartment. Like, who gives a fuck about shit like that?
Yeah.
So anyway, I did that, and I watched the clip, and his wife must have seen it, obviously. Well, I was wearing a Welks hoodie from my old job. Apparently, this family does something with, they like sell snow equipment or something to the companies that do snow removal. So they knew the owner of the company I work for. So they contacted him and asked him who the guy in the news clip was. He contacts me and asks if it's okay if I give the family my info because they want to contact me. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So they get a hold of me and ask me to come to the funeral.
Damn.
And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
like,
that's tough.
I don't know anybody, and I don't feel like I should be there while you guys are grieving your dad, uncle, husband. You know what I mean? Like, but I didn't feel right saying no.
Yeah.
So I went, and it was just a bunch of like, obviously you're at a funeral, you lost a loved one, everybody's sad and shit. But they're all coming up to me like thanking me. Because in the news clip, one of the pieces they put in there, like when I was doing the clip, I agreed to do the clip, I'm going through the clip in the interview, and I'm fine. And I don't know what it was, something like pulled on me, and I got choked up in the clip. Well, they made sure they put that part in there. And in the clip, she asked me, or in the interview, she asked me, she was like, so this interview seems to have gotten you kind of emotional. Like where's that coming from? And my response was, well, I didn't know the man. I never spoke to him. But like after going, like that happening with him, somehow I had some type of like attachment to it. And I'm like, so, and like you hear, oh, he's going to be okay. And if you didn't do what you did before the ambulance and everybody got there, he would have died before we got there. they're like, you did what you did, and now he's gonna be okay. And then the next thing you hear about it is he passed in the hospital. I'm like, it's really heavy, you know what I mean? And she's like, his wife was like, no, don't. Oh no, the lady in the interview, I'm like, I'm like, it's kind of heavy. Like, you think you did enough, and then you find out later you didn't. So when I went to the funeral, his wife was she was talking about the clip or something like that, and someone had brought up the fact that I thought I didn't do enough, and then his wife was like, I know you feel like you didn't do enough, but if it wasn't for you, me and his kids wouldn't have been able to say goodbye to him at the hospital.
True.
I was like, oh shit.
Damn.
So then we went to the funeral, and then it got to, like, I sat through the whole service and everything like that. And then after that, I was like, I gotta go. Like, you guys came, you met me, you said what you thought you needed to say. I appreciate it, but I gotta dip. It got overwhelming, you know what I mean? So I leave, and even like to this day, his sister still contacts me. Like, she'll hit me up on like holidays or just randomly, like, hey, how are you? How's the family? How's the kids? Things like that. So she keeps in contact. But yeah, that was it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do they know what happened to him? Like, did he have a heart attack or?
From what I heard, he had health conditions prior. So I don't know if it's an actual fact. I think it was his sister that told me he had a health condition. And then I feel like I also heard they thought, I don't know if I heard it from one of the EMTs or whatever, they thought he had a stroke while he was driving or something like that while he was driving.
Yeah.
Some health issue
obviously
that caused him to
Not have
just
control.
unconsciously pin down the gas pedal.
Yeah.
And then that makes sense, because why wouldn't you try to correct it? You know what I mean? So something happened that prevented him from consciously being able to, oh shit, I gotta stop.
That's crazy. That's a wild story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So, but of all the people, like when I was struggling to get him back on the hill, I look up and there's 6-7 cars up there with their phones out recording shit. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
People suck like that.
like
now,
they
man.
just wanted to put a
It's so
video
bad.
on social media saying, oh, hope
For what
everyone's
reason?
okay.
Yeah.
Prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
I pulled off on the interstate so that I could take footage of this instead of
Help.
contribute.
As it's going on too, that's the craziest thing. It's like
That's our world right now, though, man. It's bad.
it just doesn't make sense.
It was all of them, one guy came down and helped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Especially when they see you struggling to be able to, like, it's a tough condition that you're in, and now you just have people watching instead of actually doing something. It's like,
yeah.
I'm sure somebody called the
oh
police.
no, I'm wrong. A lady came down too. She said she was some type of EMT or something like that. I think I remember that.
Okay.
It's kind of blurry, but I think I remember that too. But even then, like, when I remember, like, through all the chaos of it and how fast it went, I remember looking while I'm trying to, like, pull this guy, and someone came down in the water and tried to help me pull him up. But they were like, I remember looking at them, and they were like careful about getting into the water, like when someone doesn't want to get the shoes
Like the
dirty or some
they don't wanna
shit.
get
You know what I
dirty.
mean?
Yeah,
Like what the fuck?
That's crazy.
God damn.
Like my phone's in my pocket and
Yeah.
I'm fucking stomach
Dove in
deep
the
in
water.
water. You worried about, like, what? Get new shoes, get a new phone. Who gives a fuck.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Yeah.
You ever do any crazy shit like that in the military or anything?
Like save people?
Yeah, you ever have anything like that happen?
I was trying to think if I did. Not me personally. No. But in DC, our first time, there was an accident on the freeway. And my cousin actually, we had a combat lifesaver bag in our van. And he jumped out and like helped this person that was fucked up. And he got on national news and everything.
That's cool.
But no, I don't think anything like crazy like that happened to me or has ever happened to me. Not that I can think of. I don't know.
How about you, D?
I got one experience. Clay and I, my buddy Clay, we were walking out of the school for lunch, and this was in high school. And there was a dude in front of us, and like Clay and I were just messing around, And then all of a sudden, this guy just falls over right in front of us, starts having a seizure.
Oh, damn.
And we were just so confused. And all of a sudden, like, he's got his tongue out. He's having a seizure. We're, like, trying to help him. We lifted his head up and stuff, trying to just make sure he's okay. We called the ambulance. It was so scary, just, like, the most freaky time. And it was just me and Clay trying to help this dude, and people were walking out to lunch. And that was pretty much it, honestly. And the ambulance came, and they took him away. It was... I mean, it happened so fast, and obviously we're at the Moorhead High School, so the ambulance is there instantly, you know. So it was a crazy time, but that's about it. He was fine. He has seizures like frequently, I guess. So
I think I might have prevented a armed robbery or a bank heist. That's for sure. Yeah. When we were younger,
This is gonna be good.
so there was this kid that lived a few houses down from me.
Yeah.
And we were really close in age, so we always hung out. But there was this other house, like 2 or 3 houses down. One of the kids there, he was my brother's age, and then there was his older brother that was like a couple years older than my brother, so like 4, 5, 6 years older than me, that lived there. And they were like the bad kids.
Yeah.
They were always getting in trouble, and like, you know that they were always fucking up, right? So one day I was playing with my friend, and we were chasing this cat. And we're like out in the backyard, we were chasing a cat, and this cat goes around these people's shed in the back, and he goes, "Cody, come here, look." And I walk over there, and I see 2 huge duffel bags full of guns, like pistols, Uzis, like all kinds of freaking crazy guns, and with clips in them. And they were just sitting there, like freaking. You can see like the guns, like without touching them. I didn't go in there and touch them, but you could see all of the guns in there, right?
Yeah.
And so we're like, "What the fuck?" So we ran up to his parents' place and called the cops and whatnot. And the cops came. He unloaded all the guns, and turns out like there was this guy that was on the run, that was buying the guns from this family or something shit like that, and he was going to use them to like rob a bank or something. It happened a long time ago, so I'm trying to remember because they did a news story on it, and I remember like everybody coming up to me like, "Hey, good job." You know, I was really little at the time. Like I think I was in like 4th grade maybe when we find these guns, but
damn, you learned how to snitch early.
I was snitch for sure.
I'm telling.
But yeah, I heard he was planning to rob a bank or something.
That's crazy.
With those guns. Yeah.
So you were little meat back then, preventing bank robberies.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
That's crazy.
yeah, a little cake.
Snitch bitch.
Who's telling?
He's telling.
Well, we sent somebody sent a video of a guy getting jumped for his bag the other day.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a girl at first, but it was a guy.
It was a
for
guy.
sure,
It was a very skinny guy with
Got his
long
ass
hair.
whooped.
Yeah, and so he had a backpack or a bag of sorts, and he's carrying it down an alleyway. And all of a sudden, 2 people end up running up on him, and they're like, "Give me the bag, give me the bag." I don't think they had. Well, they didn't.
No,
have
that
any
was
weapons.
a chick.
It was a dude.
Nah,
You
that
can
was
hear him talking in the background.
Really?
Yeah.
I totally thought that was a chick.
That's what I thought. And then I was like, "Oh, that's a dude."
Yeah.
It's a really skinny dude with long hair. You can hear him talking. He's like, "No, no."
I'm sure he's a Biden supporter.
I don't know. Yeah, that makes me wonder why they went after him for that bag then.
I don't know.
Like they
And
they
why
came
did he
from the
fight so
same
hard
direct.
for it?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I feel like he just went and sold them some shit, and then
They went
thought
and
he was
got it
gonna,
back.
and then they just went and robbed him after
Yeah.
they saw that he had it on him.
Yeah, and they didn't have any weapons.
Yeah,
So like,
because they didn't need them.
Yeah.
Because it was a chick.
it was a dude.
It was a
It was a dude. Like you can hear him talking in the video, but like we were all just saying what we would do in that sort of situation, and
See, everybody knows what they do.
I said I just hit
Until
him
it
with
happens.
hit him with the car. Fuck it, that doesn't affect me. I'm out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about the people who witnessed
was
it? What would you do?
watching.
Yeah.
So there was a car sitting in the alleyway on this side. There's a street right here, and then the people were fighting in the alleyway, beating this dude up for his bag
Yeah.
over here.
They just ran up on him,
And
socked him from behind, and started trying to take his shit.
And the car was just honking
Yeah.
from over here, from way back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would at that point. Like, it's different now. there's a time I would have minded my own fucking business and be like, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now I'd probably run them over.
Yeah.
See, that's what I've always learned.
Because that shit's out of control, bro. Like this leads us right into the shit we like to talk about. So be prepared. But
consequences.
Yeah. But I saw Target's announcing they're closing 9 stores around the country right now because of the crime activity in certain cities or states that they're in.
CVS too.
Yeah, so like and it's happening on a large scale. But my point to that is like there's so much bullshit out there. It's not just riffraff anymore. It's not just some thug foods or some hood shit happening. It's complete ignorance now that what we're seeing. And man, these people just need to be fucking dealt with accordingly. Yeah. There's no other way to put it.
Right.
When you run up on people and old people and women and with no regard, you're just socking people, knocking them out and taking their purses and doing smash and grabs in stores of, small businesses and big corporations at that, man. Like you're showing a different side of where we're at in this world right now. And man, I got kids to raise in this society.
Well, it's just going to start taking some people to start blasting.
Yeah.
Anyways, I start blasting.
They are already. People are already starting to blast these fools.
Yeah, you got to blow them away, man. That's
how many people getting shot in Fargo now? People getting shot in Fargo.
That's why I said, man, I don't fight no more. Because
you don't know what they're gonna pull out.
If you run up on me, you might get shot because I'm not a fighter.
Yeah.
Because everyone's shooting.
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather not. I'd rather just not have any beefs anymore, bro. I lived that life. I want to live in peace now. But if I have to, I don't know, I'm just gonna shoot you. I don't know what to say. And that shit don't bother me one bit either. So like,
it's either you or me, and I gotta go home.
True. Yeah.
Save me the stress.
No shit.
When we lived in Dilworth, me and Nicole were driving back to the apartment, and I saw a dude just gushing blood out of his mouth, and Nicole was like, "We gotta stop." I was like, "No. We're gonna go home." I said.
That was your chance to save somebody's life.
He did something.
You could have had a story.
I don't want that story.
You cool on that?
You'd have been like, bro, get out of my face. Like, I said, we're driving home. You can call the cops if you want. I'm not calling them. Don't call them from my phone. I'm not going to be a part of this situation. You go ahead, call them. We'll go home. And that was it. I said, this is one of those situations you stay out of. I'm going to let you know right now. I don't know who he is. I don't want to be a part of it. You don't want to be a part of it. So just so you know.
But we just got whooped.
Yeah, she called the police and that's how that went. But I said, that's we're good. He was just like walking around all day, his blood dripping out of his mouth. But he would have been fine.
You can't save everybody.
He could have just gotten into a fist fight.
It's unfortunate though. Like this brings up a good point, D, because it's like it's unfortunate how that's how we have to look at things now. You almost have to stereotype the situation.
Right, you got to be cautious.
You know what I mean?
Like
that's not a little, Somalian girl flipped over in her car. That's some fool walking down the street all bloodied up, but still walking away from whatever did it to him.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean. And so, like, you have to almost assess the situation and stereotype it and be like, yeah, no, that looks like trouble. That looks like they need help.
Yeah, I'm not cool with this guy. I don't know, who just messed him up, and maybe they'll be like, oh, that's his homie right there, and I live a block away, so I'm not trying to do that. So
we can't both be fucked up.
No, exactly.
Who's gonna help who if we both fucked up?
If I go home and call the cops, I can help you.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Know your situation.
So, Washington Commanders.
Petition in North Dakota.
Have you been keeping up with that?
No.
The Washington Commanders?
No, not even a little bit.
So the tribe that's out there is trying to sue the NFL, is it? Or sue somebody to get the Washington Redskins back, the name back into Washington, which is fucking hilarious. Yeah.
I think it's cool though. I think
it's awesome.
I think it's dope to see them stand up and be like, nah. We're not going to play this game. We wanted this.
The same thing happened back when the Fighting Sioux had to change their name to the Hawks. Mm-hmm. It sounded like there was just a lot of
virtue signaling
and NCAA sticking their nose into people's business, where actually the Sioux tribe didn't want to change the name. I think there were some council members that were on board with it. Maybe they got paid off. I don't know. But it sounded like for the majority that they tried to keep the name Fighting Hawks, and then they ended up obviously losing. So,
which is crazy because that's going to cost the NFL like a good amount of money. You know,
yeah, you remember like switching all the logos and
then all the fans that have just bought gear for Commanders. It's like now you got to make them buy.
They did it once already though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaking.
It's funny though. I like to see that shit kind of unfold.
Well, hopefully that means that the pendulum is swinging back the other way. Like it just seems like it went fucking wild to one side, where it's just like virtue signaling, fucking this and that.
Yeah.
And now hopefully we're coming back the other way, and I don't know.
I know you guys don't like focus on like football in depth like that, but Colin Kaepernick like wrote a letter to the Jets.
He wanted to go to the Jets.
He wants to be on the training team basically.
Yeah.
But they said no way.
Yeah, so
isn't it funny? No one wants anything to do with him, but the whole NFL is virtual signaling still.
Yeah,
but they're acting like they want nothing to do with Kaepernick.
Yeah.
When he kneeled, he ended up like trying to sue the NFL is why he can't come back. So he sued the NFL, ended up settling. So it's like, dude, you sued the company you worked for, and now you want to come back into the company? Why would they allow that?
Well, then he
That's
said the NFL is full of slave owners, but he wants to come back to work for those same people that he called slave owners.
It would never happen.
Yeah, it's funny when you realize that having a job isn't necessarily slave ownership work.
Do you remember?
It's just a job, and you actually have to do your job.
Daniel, maybe you remember. Do you remember when, like right before he was done playing, was he riding pine at the time?
I don't know.
Or if I don't think he was actually playing. Maybe he was, but I don't think he was doing. I don't think he was doing very well.
He's better than Zach Wilson, though.
Is he?
So, I mean, yeah, he was good. He's good. He's a good quarterback. It's kind of.
I thought Wilson played pretty good the other night.
I did too.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck.
The reason why I'm asking is because I'm just wondering if he like saw his, the way he was playing on,
to get like
on
a
the decline.
Yeah.
And then he started doing the knee and the socks with cops being pigs, and I don't know. Maybe he just saw the what his future was on the horizon. He was like, oh,
maybe
shit.
he was paid to do it.
I think the reality of it is, they all saw this opportunity for some of these people who did this shit to get into some kind of bandwagon and create some kind of celebrityism in themselves, or make themselves look like some kind of leaders within the community and shit. Yeah. And it backfired on a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And he's just one of them.
Well, we
got local people who backfired on too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone's virtue signaling when they see an opportunity, but when the opportunity doesn't last because it was only used to flare some shit up for a minute, and then the ones that instilled the power for them to be able to go and act and behave that way walk away and are like, okay, that's all we needed. And the motherfuckers are left still doing this. And now they look like the bad guys again.
Yeah.
Because the people who were supporting them doing it in the first time were only doing it for political reasons. That political purpose is no longer in existence. And so now blacks and browns went back to just being blacks and browns.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Criminals.
Yeah.
They were peaceful protesting before, when there was a need for them to be doing that. Now that there's no need, they're just criminals again.
Yeah.
You guys, I don't mean to switch the topic. So
you do this all the time.
I know, but this one I thought was funny. So we all like tuned into the Republican primary debate.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious.
It was so funny. I only watched like 30 minutes.
Do you watch any of this shit, D?
I don't. I got a 2-year-old at home. I don't get to watch shit. I watch a lot of.
I got 5 kids. I don't want to hear that
Patrol
bullshit.
and stuff.
Whatever, dog.
They're all be like, I got 1 kid. I can't, man. I don't know what my life is just like.
My life is shambles. I don't got time for shit. Bro. I got 1 kid. I watch Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer.
So what?
We all three watched the Republican debate last night, and I was just laughing my ass off texting these guys.
It was great.
Like, what the fuck?
They go at it. It's crazy. I never realized
screaming
how
at each other.
You think it's boring, unintriguing shit. You know what I mean?
But it's so funny.
The more you get into it, the more you start to realize, like, man, this shit you can act. This is like, it's actually entertainment, bro. Like these fucking people
just entertainment,
dude.
That's all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think we need to go live the next one, the next debate. We need to do a live.
That'd be fun.
I've
never seen it like that. That was
so fucking funny.
He's a snake. I just want to point out he is a snake.
You really think he is?
Yes.
No. Do you?
The way he talks like a liar that's just always
like
been
Obama,
good at lying.
I saw a lot of people compare him to Obama.
Yeah.
And then they went in on him, freaking DeSantis and the other dude.
That's what I'm saying. I think that Fox News is promoting DeSantis and try to take down Vivek on purpose.
Yeah.
He didn't look good, and then the way he tried to justify himself by not following the rules.
Okay, hold on. Okay, but if Fox News is trying to put DeSantis on a pedestal and they're asking him all these questions and maybe giving him a little extra time to respond, But then when Vivek tries to respond,
cut him off
they
hard.
fucking cut him off right away, and they don't give him.
They're trumping
very
him.
many questions.
They're trumping.
But
him.
he's not.
You see what I'm saying?
He's not answering the question. He's answering what
None
he
of them
wants to
answer
answer.
questions. They don't fucking do. Well, that's a good point, and then they go back to something that somebody else said without actually answering the fucking question that they initially got.
When I was watching,
Like
Bergham's
like, you're talking about agriculture, economics, and I'm the only one here that
He's like, well, in North Dakota.
why don't you ask somebody who actually deals with the farmers?
Dude, I thought he was gonna have a heart attack, dude.
in the background, him saying, "Why don't I get to speak?" Like,
Yeah, dude, you're like, sir, we're gonna cut you off. Dude, they're gonna cut his mic off if he kept talking.
He's just there for a head count, bro.
I was fucking
They're
dying.
not taking that dude serious.
Oh my god!
It's just what's funny to me is all of them. It's funny to watch them all attack and fight each other for the VP position.
Yeah,
that's what cracks me up.
yeah.
And then, I don't like how.
And then Chris Christie. I'm gonna call him Donald Duck.
Yeah, that was so dumb.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Seriously, you're so stupid.
It was the dumbest thing ever.
I'm gonna call him Donald Duck. Like it was a sun burn that he just fucking. Oh my god!
Because Trump makes up names for people, so he was trying to do a Trump card.
I would fucking love to see what names he would come up for Christie.
What I would like to
Krispy
see,
Kreme.
what I would like to see in one of those people is they just worry about themselves and they don't attack Donald Trump, who's not there. And
That's what we need in politics.
Like, take the high road.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we need them to talk about the issues at hand, not try and destroy each other.
But that was what Vivek was trying to do.
No, they all attacked each other every time they answered. Every time they answered a question. Every time they answered a question, they would be like,
Vivek even said, like, I'm not gonna attack anybody on the stage tonight.
Yeah,
I respect everybody here.
Isn't he the one that called our president a shell of a human, basically? Did he not say that? I'm pretty positive I'll have to find the clip of it.
Vivek.
I'll find the clip of it because
I would be surprised if he did.
Then Ron DeSantis agreed. He said, I agree with what he said, but it was something crazy because Nicole and I were like, what?
I think I know what you're talking about, but it wasn't Vivek. Vivek has been always a strong supporter of Trump.
But let's just be real.
No, he was talking about Joe Biden.
If he said that,
Joe Biden.
If he said that about
That's
Joe
our president.
Biden, that's okay.
But that's true, though.
It's not okay.
Why
That's
is it not
true.
okay? That guy's destroying our country, bro. He's our enemy.
Wait, what would you rather have him say?
In all these years, how many times have you ever heard another politician talk about our president
Holy
like
fuck,
that?
do you know
Other
what
than
they
Donald
said?
Trump,
Yeah, I was
obviously.
gonna say, you know what
This
they
is
said
not.
about
This
Trump?
is unprecedented.
Right.
To be able to say our president is literally garbage. Like he's just a old sleepy man.
Well,
like
they're
that's not
saying
good
he's a
sign.
shell.
He is an old sleepy man.
He's a
But
shell
they're
of a
saying,
human.
They're saying he's a shell of a man.
There's nothing inside, is what he's trying to say.
But if you look at what has been going on, that's not exactly not true.
Yeah.
I get that, but
Yeah. So it's not true.
but I just don't like that. You know,
So I think it's one thing if it's people who are trying to run for that seat, they should all have a certain level of respect for each other, unless there's something really bad on them. But when you're looking at replacing literally, quite possibly, the worst president in the fucking world, I think it's fair game to call the dude out his name. Because he's not just a bad president; he's literally destroying this country.
But then
I see what you're
like
saying.
literally destroying this country.
it's like if somebody said, "I hate America." You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of feeling I get when you say something that aggressive about our current president of the United States.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he's much of an American.
I don't think so either. But I'm just saying, it's unfortunate that's the times.
Not
that
if
we're
you're
in.
like if you're actively receiving money from a foreign country that's supposedly an enemy to us.
Vivek, whatever, however you say it.
No, you're gonna talk about the Soros money, but that's not true.
No.
So
That was a grant or
Although I will admit, I saw someone doing a story on him today, which now they're gonna start doing because they got to build a campaign.
that's just the same thing they did.
Yeah, they got to build a campaign, but they basically were saying that his excuse is a lie about him saying, and I'm not fully in on this guy, but I do like him. But they're saying it's a lie what he keeps saying about the Soros money. They're saying, you know, like maybe yes, all that was true. Soros, Paul Soros is whose money it was, and he wasn't Soros money. He was self-made, and he put all that money when he died back into grants and all kinds of. He donated.
we
it.
talked about this on an
Yeah,
episode.
but someone said what's bullshit about it is what Vivek isn't telling anybody is that he keeps saying, I needed that money. I was a college student and it was a free grant and I applied for it. It had nothing to do about who was who. I don't even know them. He says that's a lie. By that time, Vivek was already a millionaire, a multimillionaire.
How could they possibly know
he
that?
didn't need the $50,000. Well, he got.
Well, even if he did, who
check it out.
cares?
He got the paperwork because Vivek said, I've released 20 years worth of tax documents. Go check them.
But
and
even if
the
he
guy
did-
that's doing the story says, I got them right here, and he held them up, and he's like, we checked them. But like it was
so
was
he
all the
held them out
clickbait.
like this, but he didn't actually show the.
Well, no,
document.
it was all clickbait.
Okay.
Like to go watch the full length.
Yeah, of course.
Video of it. So I didn't watch the full length. I just watched that.
Could be
like,
fucking some
advertisement.
random ass papers that he just pulled up.
Sure,
like,
maybe.
I got him right here.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But,
it could
but
be.
even if he did,
But
who-
now
I
I'm
fucking-
curious.
who cares?
Now I'm curious if he was a multimillionaire
You know?
when he needed this $50,000 grant for
Dude,
college.
if it's free money, they're gonna give it to you. Fuck
No,
it.
fuck that.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
No, I would take
Trump
it.
doesn't do
Get
it.
out
I
of
would
Trump
take
didn't
it.
take his president's paycheck.
If you had millions of dollars, you're not taking a fucking
I'm taking that.
$50,000
You
check.
better give me that money.
No, get out
I'm
of
taking
here.
it from you because you're paying for it. Fuck yeah. No, I'm not saying that he is who he says he is. He could be a silver tongue just like Obama was and totally pull a fast one on us.
Yep, Obama did.
But he himself is saying that he needs to earn our trust, which is making me, think like, okay,
I like
well,
the
if
guy.
he's
I'm not
actually,
gonna lie.
if he's actually willing to put the work in, like he knows he's not going to win presidency. He knows that.
Yeah.
But that's he wants to gain the American people's trust,
Yeah.
and that's the whole reason why he's up on that stage right now.
He's got a big forehead too. I'm not gonna lie.
I think honestly, I don't even know if he thinks that. If
This
he,
who's worried about class and calling people
Yeah.
out, and then he's gonna throw.
that's his generation, though.
Dude's forehead.
He's got a big ass
Disrespectful.
forehead.
That's your generation,
know?
fucking retards.
You got a big ass forehead too. I don't like that shit.
I don't like it at all. Not one bit.
Holy shit!
But
I hope my president doesn't have a big forehead. That's all. So
That would be class.
I can see, honestly, I can see him being appointed to something. Probably not the VP, but if Trump were to win, he would be appointed to something, but not the VP. I don't think. I think.
Who do you think is gonna go for VP?
I think it's gonna be a woman. I could see, like I said, I think Carrie Lake or Kristi Noem maybe would be a good choice.
Did you see that thing about Carrie Lake?
Mm-mm.
That someone else is acting.
Oh,
Whatever.
so that's Kristi no Hobbs, Kristen Hobbs.
Yeah, never
she's
mind.
the governor.
That's what
But
it was.
so that particular incident, I believe, happens with any state. If the governor is going to be gone or under anesthesia, some person in the line is supposed to take charge. But I think I heard some people were saying like the person that is taking charge is like fourth in line, and that's unusual. I don't really know what the deal was with that, but
So that they could do something dirty real quick while they're there, and then, I think they lose. They don't have as much privilege and power unless something transpires where they need to stay in that position. But they're just acting as that person. They don't actually have the full strength of
that whole deal with the governor of Arizona is very shady.
Yeah.
Like
Arizona's
she might have
fucked.
fucking taken money from the Sinaloa cartel, and
Ooh, surprise!
but that's like that's
what I
so
say earlier.
fucking weird.
Yeah,
Weird. It's so strange.
surprise.
But like, how does she get involved in that stuff? Like this white lady from Arizona is dealing with the cartel.
You'd be surprised, man.
That's so fucked up
You'd be
shit.
surprised.
You know what I mean?
I mean, think about it. It all starts. The top is all government officials, bro.
Yeah.
The top, the heads of the cartels, the heads of the mafias, bro. It's all.
That was an
officials.
interesting topic that they were talking about, like at the debate last night, about what we would do with the cartel.
Yeah.
It seems like the majority of them are on board to go
Militarize
and fucking
and
destroy them
yeah.
all. But then somebody said like the Mexico wasn't on board with it. Is that what I heard? Like Mexico wasn't on board with it,
with what? What do you mean?
with us using our military to destroy the cartel.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think what they said was military or Mexico wasn't on board, but then they were saying like, okay, Mexico is one of our biggest trade partners, and
Punish 'em.
if they're not going to be on board with this, well, too fucking bad.
Obviously, I mean, I feel
they're not pulling their weight.
The cartel is bad, and we can say that with confidence, you know. But also, like, imagine we don't have as much drugs flooding the streets. Like, how are these fiends like gonna survive? You know, like.
What do you mean?
We don't have
the drug addicts.
We don't have the ability to help these people from get sober, you know. Yeah. And we're gonna pull all these drugs off the streets.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, but so it's kind of a double-edged sword. You're in a catch-22 in that scenario because you're either saying fuck all the people that are dying as a result of its existence, or fuck the people that will die as a result of fixing it. So it's like you feel like your virtue rewarding by saying no, these people deserve to have a fair chance to recover, and we don't have the resources to just pull all the drugs. But in the same breath, you're saying fuck everyone that's dying every day from the crime and murder that's happening with the drug trafficking that is, and you know, like, it's unfortunate. And I lost my dad to drug abuse too, so I'm a pretty good advocate for both sides of the fence. But I just think that it boils down to choosing between the lesser of evils.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, and do you continue to say let everyone die that's dying right now in the big drug wars that are happening, and the people that are caught up in the crossfire of all this shit, and that happens in small communities and towns, or do you say the otherwise minority group of people? And I'm probably going to take some shit for that, but the minority group of people, in the sense of, I don't think that the druggies dying at whatever rate that would mean are in the same position as, or quantity as, the people who are dying as a, you know, accidental result of being in the wrong place at the wrong time type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what I would choose, honestly. Like, I feel like I would lean towards like cleaning things up, but I know that that's not 100%.
They're not just involved in the drug trade. It's weapons and people too.
Yeah, human trafficking, sex trafficking of children. Like, I mean, you name
spies,
it. The
terrorists.
That's what I mean. It's like the collateral damage of them staying in existence and us not destroying them, I think is a lot worse than the collateral damage of cleaning up the activity and doing our best to salvage who we can salvage.
Yeah.
I mean, most of these people are dying regardless, whether the drugs get removed or not.
So, D, your concern is that if we get rid of all the drugs, how are we going to take care of the fiends getting off?
Yeah, because then more people will die. You know, there is there's people who are so addicted they will fucking die without their drugs, and we don't have the resources to say take the drugs off the streets. We have a way to help all of these people. We don't.
But you can't.
He's right about
there's
that.
not like the Narcan.
Exactly. They wouldn't have the ability to take care nor house. Yeah, that's the other issue. Is the only reason people are able to stay on the street so long is because they got that little friend that helps them stay.
I promise
stay at peace. You know.
But I promise you, killing the cartel does not take the drugs off the streets.
No,
those are just the people trafficking it right now. The people in charge of it will find new traffickers.
Yeah,
promise you. Your neighbors are probably trafficking. You don't even know.
Do your drugs get worse than when you destroy the cartel? That's the other thing that I'd be afraid of. Is are your drugs? People are doing their own thing then in the United States,
I think it already is worse. It's at the worst it's ever been. With
you
fentanyl.
Could literally buy a fucking little piece of crack and then smoke a little bit and die.
But fentanyl. But that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Fentanyl has made.
You never know what's laced.
We're at the worst stage right now. I think in drug abuse ever. Like,
it's fucking scary.
Like, to your point, like people will start cooking their own shit and doing all that, but they already do that. That's how fentanyl's getting mixed into things. Like, bro, it's in weed.
Yeah,
they're warning people to be careful where you're getting your weed from because it's laced with fentanyl.
Yeah,
they're lacing fucking meth. They're lacing coke. They're lacing everything, heroin, with fentanyl.
The kid that died people are dying like crazy. He took a Percocet and died.
That had fentanyl.
Yeah.
So it's at an all-time high, bro.
In the United States.
Oh.
Yeah, we're already there. We're already there. We're already at the stage of like people cutting shit and making it really bad. And you know, the cartel isn't responsible for that. That's why I say it doesn't matter if we take out the cartel. I think we'll prevent a lot of damage for a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the powers that be will still be the powers that be. They're not going to take themselves out because what we're asking of these people is to eliminate their own.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the CIA.
Yeah.
So
still the powers that be.
It would be interesting if they actually do that because they're essentially taking on the CIA.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Which,
and they know that.
We know
that.
Yeah, I mean, it's no fucking secret that the CIA has gotten out of control.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
I told the story the other day about when I first met your dad and we went out to eat at that grandma's place,
shit.
And the people that were there hiding out from the cartel or whatever.
My dad talks about that shit every single day.
Shit.
Hey, you talk to John anymore? Yeah. Oh, Jigga, that guy fucking smart. One night we went to grandma's. Yeah, he told me that
funny.
shit.
That one was wild.
Yesterday.
Dude,
the day before that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Every day he tells me the
That
same
dude loves
stories.
me though.
He fucking loves that story. Huh?
Yeah. He likes him and he likes Vern.
Nice.
He didn't like me till like 2 years ago.
Dude, that's a wild story.
So
it was crazy, especially just because the way they pinned us
Yeah.
out. And she's just like, you two do not belong here together. Totally blew your cover. Because like I told you, he's a retired Navy SEAL, just an old skinny white dude. And at this time, I'm fucking 19 years old. I'm fucking banged out, bro. Like, and me and this dude are just having a beer and a burger together at grandma's.
at grandma's saloon.
You know what I mean?
That's
And
awesome.
she's like, you two do not belong together. I sniffed you out from across the bar. We're just like, what
Sniffed
the
you
fuck
out.
are you talking about? She's like, look at him, look at you. You guys don't hang out. You don't belong together. You work together. You're undercover and your cover's blown. We're just like,
Little does she know she was way off.
yeah. Shit. But bro, she analyzed the situation, right, for a guilty mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was over there guilty as fuck, saw us and was like,
Well, wasn't she like being protected? She thought you guys were watching over her. Or
no,
some
they were in
shit?
protective custody at the Ramada at the time.
Okay.
Right there where the Delta's at now, and they had to get out of there and have something different. Yeah. So they decided to run over to grandma's and get some food or whatever. But they weren't supposed to leave at the time that they had left, so they thought that we were there to watch them. And I can't remember, like Garcia or Rodriguez was like the name that she kept saying that he sent you guys, right? And we're just like, yeah. At first we were like, yeah, I know what the fuck you're talking about. But she was like, sure. She kept like looking at us, pretending to use the payphone right next to us and look at us, and like we're just like, when finally your dad was like, let's just play it off and see what the fuck is going on. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Fuck it. And so then when she came over again, well, that was the agreement. If she comes over again, let's just play it off and whatever. So she did. She came over again and we were just like, all right, look, you got us. But like, you need to chill out. You need we started getting all serious with it, bro. Like just controlling the situation. It was seriously a fucking cool story.
That is so fucking funny.
He does
That
cool.
is so
He does
funny.
cool shit sometimes.
Yeah.
My dad's a creature of habit.
Yeah.
He used to go to this bar every single day after work, like a block and a half away from my house. And on his birthday, I moved out. I'm doing my own thing now. On his birthday, I went to his. I didn't call him or none of that shit. I just knew where he was gonna be. I pulled up at the bar. I sat down. And that's like just a bunch of old construction workers. And I walk in the bar. I was back when throwback jerseys was cool, so I got a fucking throwback on. My hat's twisted. I'm brown. I walk in, and everybody, people talk about it.
Good.
Whatever, dog.
Yellow.
It's cold outside. People talk about you walk into a bar and the record skip and everybody. Yeah, so that's what type of time we were on. So I walk in and everybody looks, and my dad's at the front of the bar telling the stories, and I walk up and the lady's like, "Can I get you something?" I'm like, yeah, let me get a Corona and then whatever the old man wants. And he turns around, he's like, Daniel. I'm like, happy birthday, Dad. He turns around, he's like, hey, this is my son. And everybody, like, my dad's the man in this bar. This is his bar. So he turns around, this is my son. And everybody was like, what? So, like, there was this asshole in the bar. Like, there's two types of dudes in the military. There's the ones that retire and are quiet as fuck. And there's the ones that retire and think everybody owes them for something. And, like, they got to tell you what they were and what they did. And you got to respect me. And you got to suck my ass when I tell you to when I'm in public.
If I say jump, you say how high.
Right. So, like, this dude's in there just telling everybody all this shit. And I'm an Army Ranger and this, that, and the third. And my dad's always been, like, a slow brewer. He's real quiet. And until he's not. So he was just sitting there. I could see it bugging him and shit. And I was just sitting there. And all of a sudden, he comes up next to my dad. And my dad has a tattoo of an anchor right here. And he's like, he looks and he's like, you serve? And my dad's like, yep. And he's like, what branch? And he's like, 20 years, Navy SEAL. And then the dude said, Navy SEAL. I was Army Ranger. My dad didn't even look at him. He said, yeah, we all heard. And so I don't know this side of my dad because he's always real quiet around me and I only see him at home or whatever. So I'm like, oh shit. So, and I'm an instigator.
Yeah, but admit it, you thought you were gonna have to fight for your dad.
Hell yeah, I was gonna have to save my dad's ass.
He'll get
and shit.
mollywop right now.
I'm like, my dad's about to get fucked up by now. I'm gonna have to beat this fool's ass.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit. I look over and the dude looked at him and he was like, He walks off and then he comes back because it's like bugging him. And he's like, so you're a Navy SEAL? And talking, he's like, yep, 20 years. And they're talking and he keeps going on about the Army Ranger. My dad said, well, you know that the Navy SEALs are a department of the Army Rangers, right? And the guy like looks all weird and he's like, no, it's not. He's like, yeah, it is. And the guy goes, what department? And cool as shit. My dad just looked at him and goes, the men's department. And took a drink of his beer. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Talk that shit. And then the dude just looked at him and he's like, I don't believe you're a Navy SEAL. My dad said, no? Oh, I'll be sitting right here all night. If you have any more questions, we can go outside and learn a thing or two about each other. And dude looked like he wanted to, but he's like, if the dude's really a Navy SEAL, this might go bad. I don't know. So he just like looked and ate it and then left.
That's funny.
I'm like, God damn.
That's
like,
crazy.
I never see my dad talk no shit like that. Not no cool shit. Like, because my dad looks like Woody from Toy Story. Like, he's from South Dakota. He's a country boy.
The whole,
you know
like,
what
I respect, dude. And D knows I got mad. I got nothing but love for his dad. But all the time that I was with Daniel's sister and he was like trying to play that whole Navy, man, I used to punk that dude all the time, bro. I used to talk shit. I'll whoop this dude's ass so quick because I didn't believe in him as a Navy SEAL. You know what I mean? When you see him, you don't think that's who he is.
Yeah.
But then you get to know the guy and you're like, nah, yeah, he's probably a Navy SEAL. Well, he don't look like, you say he looks like Woody from fucking Toy Story, bro. He's just frail, tall, skinny.
Yeah, dude like 5'9", like
but he believes
30.
he believes his own shit, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what that changes your demeanor. You're like, we're cool. We're all right. We're good.
Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh yeah. Well, fuck, man. We hit an hour pretty quick on this one, guys.
Yeah.
It was just a couple quick stories. I guess I didn't have the most thrilling, like, life-saving story, so I thought it'd be cool to bring Daniel on and tell his.
Yeah.
Because his was a little bit more legit and intense. But good job, D.
Yeah.
Either which way, man. That was dope. Let's go ahead and shut it down, D. Take us out.
Yeah, we got some big changes coming. You know, make sure to like, subscribe, stay tuned for what's to come. You know,
We're scaling.
You know, we're scaling up. We're trying to invest in the business. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You know, like, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, please. Comment. Say something bad. Say something good.
Send us a gift.
You know, send us a gift.
Yeah, on our reels, we monetized Instagram now for our Ill Eagle page.
So I was wondering if that was what.
We're not leaving yet, D.
That's
Hold on.
what. Yeah, hold on. That's what all those stupid fucking NPC videos were. Like,
Yes, when they're like,
Glizzy, Glizzy,
ice cream. I love ice cream.
Yeah,
You guys are really good at that. We should just
we're
do
gonna
that.
do one.
We
So
should
that's
do
what all those
But bro,
fucking.
they're getting paid.
Yeah.
Every time someone
Yeah.
sends those gifts, they're
Yeah.
getting real money.
Yeah.
Because like Instagram told me to set up my account to monetize and do all the shit because our reels are hitting. And
You
this and I
thought
was
they were
like,
just doing that for fun?
I don't know what the fuck.
No,
it
I
is,
know
but
they're. I know
I
they're
didn't
getting
understand
paid,
how it worked.
Wow, they were getting paid.
Because
Yeah.
they said every time someone sends you a gift, you'll earn money and it'll go to this account that you just set up. And I was like, how do I get gifts? Like,
So
what do I got to do? But it's all on
They're
reels.
paying these fucking dipshits to say stupid shit. That
Well, yeah. So if your reel's dope and you want to like gift people,
no, I'm just saying for the NPC.
yeah,
deal.
yeah. They're
Have you
paying.
seen
They're
those?
paying for the
Are you on
entertainment.
Instagram?
I'll show you a really
Yeah,
good
I'm
one.
on
Actually,
Instagram, but,
it
like-
makes me laugh.
Like all my socials,
retarded.
I don't scroll through much of them.
So like
I get a
there's
notification
people
and
that,
shit,
that
but-
act like NPCs now and they just go on like a social media live and or yeah, it's just lives I think that you can do it on, but they just sit there and they act like NPCs. So they'll sit and stare at the screen and people just send gifts and they'll get ice creams and cakes and cookies and they're just like, cake, I love cake. Yum, 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 yum.
Yep.
They just do like this crazy weird
glizzy,
shit. Yeah, glizzy. But they just act like an NPC the whole time and they're getting bank, bro.
Yeah,
They're making like tens
It's
of
fucking
thousands of
ridiculous.
dollars a day doing shit.
it's
like this, bro.
ridiculous.
I know it's crazy.
I'm gonna show you a funny
Look
one.
at it.
after
You can
this.
see the calculations
It's
in
like,
his,
how much
in his
money
head
can I
going
make
on.
from this?
Daniel's like,
Glizzies?
I don't even have to show my feet on this.
Yeah, you could close your feed account, bro.
My
Your
OnlyFans
feed account.
OnlyFans account.
Your only feet count.
I'm not closing that, bro.
Yeah, well, but if you do this, you could.
Or I could just make double the money.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
No self-respect.
That's another episode. Thank you guys. Like, share, subscribe. We're out.
Peace.